Okay, welcome back. Here we are in our second video. In this video, we're going to be talking about transforming solid bodies into surfaces, and then how to take a collection of surfaces and transform that into a solid again. Okay, so we're still working off of this cube that we made in the first video, and this is a solid cube. We know that because if we look here in our design tree, we can see that we used a boss extrude, which always creates a solid model. So the other way that we can tell that this is solid is if we go here to our section view and turn section view on. It'll cut our model in half. We can run this section view panel through our entire model to confirm that it's blue all the way through and that it's solid. So there we go. All right. Okay, so thinking about this in the world of CAD, once you have a collection of surfaces that are all knitted or stitched together, and they create an enclosed volume, a watertight or airtight volume inside, the program will automatically solidify that. And so that's the situation that we have here. So the problem when you're modeling like this is if you happen to delete a face or delete a portion of your model and kind of pop a hole in your totally enclosed volume, well then all the insides are going to come out and you're going to be left with only surfaces. Okay, so sometimes you want to do that on purpose when you're dealing with a solid model that you'd like to transform into surfaces so you can add additional surfaces and surface treatments. So I want to show you really quickly with this cube how to turn this thing into a bunch of surfaces. Okay, it's going to be with the delete face tool. It's under surfaces and delete face. If we hover over it, it gives us a pretty clear description of what it does. Deletes faces from solid bodies to create surfaces, or deletes faces from a surface body. So we can use this whether we're doing surfacing or solid modeling. So we'll turn delete face on. The box, the input box here asks us for faces that we want to delete. And then down in our options, we have delete as the operation that we'd like to perform. There is also delete and patch and delete and fill, and we're going to play around with those a lot more in the future. But for now, we just want to take a face and we just want to delete it. So we'll just approve that. And there you go. It's as simple as that. SolidWorks, once you remove that face and you kind of open up the enclosed volume, SolidWorks immediately transforms your model from a solid model to a set of surfaces. Okay, and the way that you can tell you've got surfaces is, well, you can see them in the design area here. But then also, if you look over here at the design tree, you've got a new folder that's popped up since you did this move. And it says surface bodies, and there's a little 1 next to it, and that shows that you've got one set of previously stitched together surfaces that are now they're no longer solid, so they show up as a surface body. And so the point is to just recognize that this surface body folder will pop up as you start adding and manipulating surfaces to inside of your part files. Okay, so then it's a little nerve-wracking, right? If we go over here to the Features tab, you notice there's quite a few of the features inside Features tab that have now grayed out because we don't have a solid form to edit. None of these solid editing tools will work on this model any longer. Okay, so that's another way to tell that you've got surface bodies in play. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to now that we have created surfaces, we'll just assume, okay, we're going to do some surface treatments to this one way or the other. And then we want to stitch this hole back up and then re-solidify the model. So the question is, how do you do that? Okay, so since we've got all surfaces and we're missing a bunch of our tools here under the Features tab, we're going to go to the Surfaces tab and we're going to look for a way to add a new surface over the top of this hole to sort of plug it up and get this thing solid again. Okay. And so the one we're going to use is Planar Surface. Okay, if we look at Planar Surface, creates a planar surface using a sketch or a set of edges. Okay, so we don't have a sketch in this scenario, but we do have the edges of these 4 walls. So we'll go to Planar Surface and we'll just choose the edges of the hole we'd like to patch. There we go. And you can see just as easy as that, it will span the entire opening there, and we'll approve it. And there you go. You've now got a new surface patching up that one that you deleted with delete face. Okay. Okay. So what we want to do next at this point is probably double check that this thing is solid. And when we look inside of it, we see, no, it is not solid yet. It is actually still hollow inside. And so that means we've just only added a surface across the top. We haven't gone through the procedure yet of transforming this enclosure of surfaces into a solid. So let's do that now, okay? Real quick, the other thing to look for is that now that we've added this new surface on the top, we look over here in our surface bodies folder, and we've now actually got that surface showing up in our surface body. So as we add more and more surfaces, they'll continue to show up here in your design tree. And that can be really helpful as you get into a really complicated model, okay, that has like, 25 or 30 different surface bodies floating around in it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take all of these, there's these two separate surface bodies. One is the bottom panels there, and the other one is the top panel that we added ourselves, okay? And how do we take these two surface bodies and, first of all, knit them back together or stitch them back together so that they create an enclosed form and we only have one single solid body. And we're going to use knit surface for that, okay? Knit surface will take these two surfaces and knit them together. So let's just go through that process now. Under the surfaces and faces to knit selection, we're going to take that first one, and then we're going to take the rest of them. And we're going to just roll around that in 3D to make sure we got all the edges we wanted. We'll see them both show up over here under knit surface, and then we're going to press this button here, try to form solid. Okay, this is a really important tool, and it activates when SolidWorks is able to easily recognize that you have chosen a selection of faces and surfaces that create an enclosed volume. If there was a little hole or anything punched in any one of these surfaces, the try to form solid button wouldn't work. But since this is now a fully enclosed volume and we're knitting all the surfaces together in one, SolidWorks kind of skips ahead and says, I think I know what you want to do, so I'm going to give you this option to try to form a solid right now. And we'll just check that and we'll hit OK. And nothing's really changed until we open up our section view here and we cut the thing in half and we recognize, all right, so we've now taken those solids, we've knitted all the surfaces together into one surface body, and we've solidified it. So looking over here at the design tree again, things have changed a little bit. We used to have a surface bodies folder with two different surfaces in it, remember? But now we have a solid bodies folder, and there's a 1 next to it, and it shows us the new solid body that we've created. Okay, so once again, we're using the design tree over here on the left and the different folders that kind of appear and reappear as we adjust our model. That's his first indication of what's going on. And then the second is, of course, the section view, which will cut our model in half. And we're going to be using these things all the time. So no matter how complicated your model is, this knit surface tool can help you transform it from surfaces into solids, and using other tools under direct editing and surfaces like delete face can transform your solids into surfaces. Okay, so give that a try, play around with that, and in our next video we're going to start talking about lofts and sweeps and guide curves and 3D guide curves and 3D curvature in general. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.